All right, so I tested the sound. It should be good this time. I am helping with Carnival today because it was canceled on Saturday. So I have a video lesson for you guys. Arduino says write a linear equation from the table. We can pick 2 points, any 2 points. We know our linear equation has to look like this, y equals mx plus b. And it's been a while, but to find our m, we have to do our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Some of us got this confused on the mastery quiz that we took last week. Remember, the y's are on top and the x's are on bottom. So I'm just going to pick these 2 points. It is a vertical table, so 4 is our x and 550 is our y. And then 6 is our x and 700 is our y. So I'm going to write them out. 4 comma 550 and 6 comma 700. I'm not skipping any steps because I don't want to mess anything up. It's been a while. So then I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, and y2. And then we use our formula. We know that we're going to substitute our y2, which is 700, minus our y1, which is 550, over our x2, which is 6. I almost thought that was a 61, but it's just a 6, over our x1, which is 4. And then we're going to subtract. So 700 minus 550, which is 150, and 6 minus 4, which is 2. We can simplify this, so we'll get m equals 75. Now, we didn't see any like this on the mastery quiz where we go back to the table and we don't have 0 on the table. So this is one of the ones that we have to do that extra work to find our b. So we're going to pick a point on our table. I'm going to go back to 4 and 550. I'm going to label x and y. First thing we're going to do is substitute in our slope. So y equals 75x plus b. All I did was change my m. Then we're going to take our y and replace it with 550. Substitute. Y comes out. 550 goes in. Then we keep our 75. Instead of our x, we're going to replace it with a 4. And then plus b. We know parentheses means to multiply, so we have 550 equals 75 times 4 is 300 plus b. And then we're solving for, just erasing this because I want to keep it color coded. We're solving for b. So we have to get the b by itself, which means we want to get rid of this positive 300. So we're going to do minus 300 on both sides. This side gives us 0, leaves us with b. And this side gives us 250. So b is going to equal 250. So our last step, y equals 75x plus 250. This was a very long do now. It's been a while since we've done one of these multi-step ones. All right, today I'm bummed that I'm not there because we are learning something new. We're learning how to solve a system of linear equations graphically. Now we're going to, instead of graphing one line on our graph, we're actually going to graph 2 lines because a system of equations is 2 or more equations working together. So let's write that on our note sheet. And the solution is the coordinate pair where the 2 equations intersect. So our solution is going to be in the form of a coordinate pair, x comma y. So Again, our solution is x comma y, and it's the place where the two lines intersect. So if we see here we have two lines, the place where the two lines meet, where they crisscross, that's our solution. So right here is 2 comma 5, because we go over to 2, slide over to 2, slide up to 5. These two linear equations meet right here. That's where they crisscross. So our solution would be slide to -2 and slide up to 1. So the solution would be -2 comma 1. And these two linear equations meet right here. That's where they crisscross, they touch, they intersect, however you want to call it or label it. And again, we would slide to 3, so that's our x, and slide down to -1. Remember, we always slide side to side first. That's our x, before we go up or down. That's our y. So let's look at question number 1. We are going to graph both of these equations on the same graph. So we have y equals 2x plus 2. We know our m is 2 over 1. That's our m. I'm just going to actually just circle the 2. If there's no number underneath it, we make it 2 over 1. And our b is plus 2, or positive 2. So we're going to go, I actually want to keep these all in red because I want to graph them separately. So we know we're going to start at positive 2. And because it's positive, we're going to go up 2 and to the right 1. So up 2, 1, 2, to the right 1, up 1, 2, to the right 1. With these, you may have to do the other half of the line more often because we don't know where it's going to intersect. So I'm going to go back to 2 and I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go down 2 to the left 1, down 2 to the left 1, down 2 to the left 1, down 2 to the left 1. And then I'm going to connect my lines with a ruler or a straight edge, whiteboard, side of your calculator, whatever works. And then our other line, we know there's an invisible 1 in front of this, and it's over 1 if we don't see something. So our slope is going to be 1 over 1. And our b is going to be -1. So we know we're going to start at -1, and that's separate. Now we look at the slope. The slope is positive. It's a positive 1 over 1. So we go up 1 over 1. So I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. If we notice, this line is not going to meet over here. It's going to keep going over this way. So I'm just going to stop graphing there, and I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to do the bottom half of the line. So I'm going to go down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1. This is the point that they meet right there, and I'm just going to do one more line to go through. So I'm going to draw my straight line. Again, mine aren't straight. You guys should use a ruler. You're not done. You need to state the solution. So these two lines meet right here. So we slide to -3, that's our x. And we jump down to -4, that's our y. So our solution is -3, -4. All right, question number 2, same thing. We're going to start with our first line. The slope is -2 over 3, and the y-intercept is +3. So we know we're going to start at +3, but because it's negative, we're going down and to the right. So down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. And again, we don't know where they're going to meet, so I'm going to go back up 2 over 3 just to get this half of the line. Up 2 over 3. Straight line, arrows on both ends. Our other line is, our m is, we know there's nothing underneath it, so it's going to be a positive 2 over 1. And our b is -5. Again, the b and the m are separate. The b can be negative and the m can be positive. We don't see a negative sign in front of the -2, which means it's positive 2. So we're going to start at -5 And because it's positive, we're going up and to the right. So up to the right one, up to the right one, up to, up, right here is where they're going to touch. I'm going to do one more point just to show both lines. And the solution is our X, Y, where they meet. So they meet right here. So we slide to +3, and then we jump up to 1. So 3, 1 would be our solution. All right, if you want to pause the video and try this one on your own, our slope is going to be +3/1. Our b is going to be -4. So we're going to start at -4, and it's positive, so up 3/1. Our slope is -1/2 and +3, so we start at +3. And in this case, because it's negative, we're going down 1 to the right 2. So down 1, that was easy. They met right there, but I'm just going to do one more point or 2 more points just so I have a straight line. Right? And don't forget, yes, you can graph it, but you need to state the solution. This is the place where they meet. That's the solution. It's when both linear equations are true. For this coordinate pair, this one's easy because it's 2, 2. And then our last one, you can pause again if you want to try it on your own first. Our slope, invisible 1/1. So up 1/1. And our b is our +2. I'm going to draw more dots on this one just because I don't know where they're going to intersect. And then in the second case, we have -1/1, which means I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1, but I'm going to start this time at +4. And this looks like it's going to be another easy one, down 1 to the right 1, they meet right there. I'm just going to do a few more points just to make a straight line. And then again, our solution is the X, Y. X comes first, slide first. So I start at 0, I slide over to 1, and I slide up, or I jump up to +3. I know you guys don't have your laptops, so you aren't going to be able to check your answers, but you will get a sheet with questions on them. There's 10 of them. I think you guys have to pick 6 of them to solve. I think it's 6 or 8, whatever your full sheet is. But pick whatever 6 or 8 that you guys want to solve on your own, and then you can kind of check with your partner if there's time.